out there, and he's that kind of guy. He's a leading tackler on the football team. He's a wrestler that gets to the state meet, and he'll throw his arm off, is what one of the coaches told me. So he'll throw 125 pitches because that's all they'll allow him. So, it's all about playing loose today. And, they were here in this game last year, and remember that sting. So I think it sort of lifted a burden from them yesterday to play so poorly and yet win. You feel like today, just by default, you're going to play way better.
They lost to Mentor Lake Catholic 3-2 in that final a year ago. This is their fourth trip to a state Final Four. They are still in search of their first ever state championship. Let's look at our two teams. Let's take a couple of moments right now, 10 seconds in fact. We're going to pause for station identification here on the OHSAA Radio Network. Todd Walker just mentioned this will be the final game of the season in the state of Ohio in high school scholastic sports. The champions so far this year in Division I, Cincinnati St. Xavier defeated Moeller to win that title. Last night, New Albany beat Walsh Jesuit to win the Division II championship. Hamilton-Baden defeated Bishop Watterson in Division III. In Division V, it was Waynedale defeating Columbus Academy. In Division VI, it was Lake Center Christian with a 2-1 win over Berlin Highland. And also in Division VII, Delphus St. John's was a winner over Leipzig. It is hard to believe that another school year has come to an end. And I want to congratulate everybody at the OHSAA for another spectacular season. This is the lightest of the championship weekends that they will have because there was so much going on last weekend with the track and field. You had softball, you had lacrosse all going on. And Marty, it's again, the wrap-up of another high school season for us.
And I think the way that it wraps up with this facility and this event is a great way to cap it off. And keep in mind, too, not to be that guy, but we're 2 months and 7 days from high school football, the first Friday night of the high school football season. I mean, it just, the schedules run so close together these days, but an exciting time. And we're always happy to be here and have a chance to talk about high school sports in the state of Ohio.
With that said, still plenty of time, Marty, for you and I to get out and play a lot of golf this summer.
I'm not counting on any invite at all.
All right, both teams have been introduced to the fans. Fenwick over on the first base side, and they're dug out in the white pants and the red tops. Perkins over on the third base side, white pants and black tops. Let's head down to the field now and listen in as prior to our Division IV state championship game, we have our national anthem.
National anthem.
Let's pause now for these messages from the OHSAA. Bishop Fenwick playing for its third state title. Perkins playing for its first. This is the state baseball tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Welcome to today's game. This is Paul Keels, and you know how much I love broadcasting the Buckeyes, but I also love high school sports. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know this game means so much to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about much more than the wins and losses. They teach life lessons that will be with the players long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and remember to respect the game.
The following is a broadcast presentation of the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Division 4 state championship game from 717 Credit Union Park, Fenwick and Perkins. Here's the lineup put together by first-year head coach at Fenwick, Doc Whelan. The Falcons will have Hudson Crickey lead things off and play in center field. Carter Schaus, the pitcher, will bat second. Isaac Barker will hit third and play at second base. The cleanup hitter and shortstop is Jackson Kaufman. Jude McCullough will do the catching and bat fifth. Boyd Westerfield at first base is in the sixth spot. Hitting seventh, and in right field, it is Ty Miller. Nick Bachman will be in left field, batting eighth, and third baseman Connor Enderle will bat ninth. The Fenwick Falcons this year as a team, 304 averaged almost 7 runs per game. On the hill for Perkins, it'll be Braxton Martin. He will come in working 29 innings this year, giving up 29 hits, 20 runs, 11 of them earned, walking only 14, striking out only 16, a 3-1 record and a 2.66 ERA. Marty, that tells me, based on the walks and strikeouts, there's going to be a lot of balls put in play here today.
And he'll rely on his defense, which really yesterday was not something they could rely on early in the game. Yesterday, there were only in that game 9 errors yesterday. Perkins did commit 3 of them, but they have to do a much better job of simply taking care of the baseball. And if Martin's going to put the ball in play and allow his defense to make plays for them, they have to be better on that side.
Hudson Crickey will come to the plate, center fielder and sophomore for Fenwick. So Crickey will stand in, right-handed batter. Our umpires today, Todd Cook at third, David Graybell is at second, Jackson Hathaway is at first, Keith Biola is the home plate umpire today. Braxton Martin toes the rubber. He'll work strictly out of the stretch position. The first pitch of our Division 4 state championship game misses low and outside for ball 1. We begin today's game at 75 degrees and at 10:02. Cloudy skies, breeze coming across from left to right as the next offering will hit the outside corner, and it's now 1-1. Crickey at 280 batting average without a homer and 15 runs batted in this season. Next offering, ground ball left side, backhanded play by Scheinfurth. The shortstop throws low. Bignett smothers it at first base. He has it, and that's how this one starts. So Crickey is retired. Let's give you the Perkins defense. Dante Shipp is in left. Bryce Davey is in center, and Grant Parker is in right. Talon Walton is the third baseman. Sam Scheinfurth is at short. Mason Souter is at second, while Quentin Bennett is over at first with Carter Cook doing the catching. Leadoff batter retired. Opposing pitcher Carter Schaus will stand in, and he'll hit one on a smash. Off the heel of the glove of Walton, trickles into left field, run down by Scheinfurth, the shortstop, and that'll go as a base hit on a tough play for the third baseman, Walton, and Fenwick has a base runner.
And you hit it right on the head, Todd. A very tough play for the third baseman. That ball was hit sharply. Took that little sharp bounce at him on the heel of the glove and then just ricocheted over his head and into short left field.
So a one-out base runner now for Fenwick. And Isaac Barker, the second baseman, now will dig in. Schaus the lead at first, and the first offering will miss outside for a ball. In terms of running, only 66 steals this year for Fenwick. Now Martin delivers, and the next offering is a little bit low for a ball for Carter Schaus. He is second on the team with 10. Jackson Kaufman, who is waiting on deck, leads the team with 11 stolen bases. Next pitch at the knees for a called strike. Now 2-1 on Barker, a 400 hitter. Without a homer, 20 runs batted in. They hit 8 home runs as a team this year. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Up in the strike zone, couldn't time it up. And Martin has battled back now to even the count at 2-2. One out, top of the first inning. Barker, who went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored yesterday, now will get time at home plate. A lot of noise coming out of the Fenwick dugout over on the first base side. They're already into this game. 2-2. Fly ball left field. Dante Ship will drift back to his right. He is under it and makes the catch. And that'll be out number 2 here in the first inning.
Todd Braxton Martin was the star of their regional final win over Highland. Came on and pitched the final 3 innings of the game, scoreless innings. That included a door-slamming 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th, and Todd Walker talked about his mentality. He said he'll throw 125 pitches if we let him, and that's the kind of bulldog you need on the mound in a title game.
So 2 outs here in the first inning, and shortstop Jackson Kaufman will be the hitter. Senior, right-handed batter, and he hits another fly ball to left field. Dante Ship barely had to move and makes the catch, and that will retire the side in the top of the first inning. A 1-out hit, a base runner left for Fenwick. And we pause for these messages from the OHSAA. It'll be the Pirates getting their first swings of this Division IV championship game next. You're listening to the State Baseball Tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Hey, Ohio, not every injury happens on the field. Car wrecks, hospital mistakes, slip and falls. When you're hurt, you need more than a quick sub off the bench. You need America's largest injury law firm. There's a reason Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. A reason we've recovered more than $30 billion for people just like you. And a reason we never charge a dime unless we win. Morgan & Morgan, proud sponsor of Ohio High School Athletics. Injured? Just dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You are listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
Here's the batting lineup for the Perkins Pirates as put together by fifth-year head coach T.J. Blanton. Bryce Davey in center field will lead things off. Talon Walton, today's third baseman, will bat second. Carter Cook will do the catching and bat third, while Cash Cook, his older brother, will be the designated hitter in the cleanup spot. Sam Scheinfurth is the shortstop, batting fifth. Braxton Martin, the pitcher, is hitting in the sixth spot. Quentin Bignette at first base will bat seventh. Dante Ship, the left fielder, is batting eighth. And in right field, it's Grant Parker, and he will bat ninth. On the hill, sophomore left-hander Carter Schaus in 44 2/3 innings this year. 18 hits, 12 runs, 7 of them earned. Walking 24, but he's fanned 90 batters in 44 2/3 innings. Schaus, a 5-3 record with a 0.94 earned run average. He gets the ball for Fenwick in the state championship game. No score, bottom of the first inning. Center fielder Bryce Davey will lead it off for the Pirates. Junior will hit from the left side. Schaus also working from the stretch, and he fires right through the middle for strike one. Bryce Davey, a 300 batter without a homer and 12 runs batted in. Now the pitch. That'll be fisted in the air, foul territory. Diving try and caught Enderly, the third baseman, over onto the dirt warning track by the Perkins dugout for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Well, already seeing some pretty good leather flashed in this game, and that was a heck of a play by Enderly. That ball was dying quickly, and he did a great job of racing over there. A lot of times you'll see guys just maybe give up on a ball like that. But that was a heck of a play right there.
So the leadoff batter is retired, and now third baseman Talon Walton will stand in. Left-hander home, swing and a miss. Walton, 400 batter, 3 homers and 36 runs batted in this year. Senior moving over from the shortstop position to third, as Martin is the pitcher, and that one is in there for a strike, floats it in, and the count quickly goes to 0-2. There's that nasty changeup at 73 miles per hour. The 0-2 hit right back up the middle for a solid base hit. Marty came back, tried to sneak a fastball by him, and Walton was right on it.
I liked Walton's game yesterday. We talked about what he did on the mound and came on and kind of bailed him out there. But yesterday he had a hit and knocked in a couple of runs yesterday, hitting out of that 2-hole yesterday. And that's a good part of that batting order for Perkins.
Now sophomore catcher Carter Cook will stand in. Cook, a 370 hitter without a homer and 24 runs batted in. Real talented backstop here for the Pirates. And this offering is up high for ball one. Not only good at the plate yesterday, 2 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in, drew a walk, scored a run, but threw out a couple of runners from behind the dish. Swings through a fastball here. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Todd, how about these numbers for Carter Schaus, the sophomore? Coming into this game, career 169 strikeouts, just 46 walks.
That's incredible. Now the pitch. Misses a little outside with a fastball. He's averaging 12.8 strikeouts per 7 innings. Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Runner at first, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Schaus home. Changeup is on the outside corner for a strike. Well, what I'm noticing here early on, obviously the disparity between the miles per hour, the fastball changeup, but just terrific location here in this first inning. Now the pitch. Popped up into right center field. Long run. Miller is over, and he's not going to be able to catch up to it. It gets by him, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Around third base is Walton. He'll score easily. Into third base is Braxton Martin. And it's a 1-0 Perkins lead.
5th triple of the season, the 12th triple of the season, rather, for Perkins. And this is something they did yesterday very well, hitting the ball into the gap against their opponent yesterday, Cardinal Mooney, and that was really what jump-started their offense. They had extra base hits in that game after being very slow out of the gate offensively early on, but a great piece of hitting right there by Carter Cook.
That'll be his 2nd double on the year, and we'll give him RBI number 31. And a 1-0 lead now for Perkins. As DH Cash Cook stands in, and he sends a fly ball to left. Balkman, the left fielder, slipped and fell down, and the ball will drop in front of him. Scoring will be Carter Cook, and it's 2-0 Perkins. Well, Nick Bachman kind of froze in his tracks, and then Marty, his first step is right out from under him. He went down to his knees and couldn't recover in time.
And with the way this game started yesterday for Perkins, to start this game today, the way they're starting it, we're going to get a meeting out at the mound right now as we have the Fenwick entire infield and head coach Doc Whelan coming out to the mound right now.
Marty, I think this is an injury timeout.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah.
Goes back, Todd. Let's go back to your report you had in the beginning of the game. And it looks like that's going to be all for Carter Schaus, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah. I didn't think he was throwing all that hard, and you looked at the MPH on the board that confirmed that. And with the way the way Doc Whelan came out of the dugout, I could see the concern on his face. And I think we're going to get a lengthy break here. Obviously, whoever replaces him will get a chance to warm up here. But when I talked to TJ Blanton, the Perkins head coach, before the game, he said, we just want to get a run an inning. If we do that, we'll be fine. He said, I don't think we'll get a 6-run inning like we did yesterday, but hey, they got 2 here. So, I mean, the spirits in this dugout compared from yesterday, as you mentioned, guys, the horrible start yesterday. Right now, these guys are flying high, and I think Fenwick needs to stem the tide quickly here.
Well, Carter Schaus is obviously and understandably dejected as he walks over to the first base dugout. He'll be greeted by one of the assistant coaches, and he will come off the field again, just battling an arm injury, and it's just coming a rotten time for them this season. So we will have a pitching change timeout. The new hurler for Fenwick will have as much time as he needs to get ready. And so we'll have a little bit of a break here. So we'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. Bottom of the first inning, Perkins has scored twice and lead at 2-0. This is the state baseball tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Runners to your mark. Set.
Some may see a sprinter. At the NFHS, we see a future leader already off to the races. Some may see a volleyball player.
Good hit! Way to go, girls! Woo!
At the NFHS, we see a spike in confidence that will help her achieve her potential. What else do we see? Musicians learning to march to their own beat. We're the NFHS, the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and activities in America, helping today's teenagers develop the skills they need to become tomorrow's leaders. And we see it happening in communities across Ohio every single day. Learn more about the NFHS commitment to youth at nfhs.org. This message presented by the NFHS, the National Federation of State High School Association.
You are listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
Couple of runs have crossed here in the bottom of the second, and Fenwick, due to the apparent injury to Carter Schaus, will make a pitching change. Caleb McMonagle, who took a very Magellan-like tour to the mound, had started to run out to the bullpen in right field. He got to the gate, and Doc Whelan then waved him from the gate out in right center field to the mound. McMonagle comes in, the right-hander. He's a senior. This will be his 11th appearance of the season in 32 1/3 innings this year. He has allowed 18 hits, 14 earned runs, has walked 26, struck out 57, and brings with him to the mound an ERA of 3.03. Carter Schaus in this state championship game faced 4 batters, and Schaus will leave after just retiring one of them. And he wasn't really knocking down the door with his speed of his pitches there. We didn't expect him to do that, but you could kind of tell he wasn't 100% out there, Todd.
So what this does, as well as McMonagle will now go into the number 2 spot in the lineup, as they did not go the DH route and pitcher for Schaus. And so for the moment, he is out of the lineup. But what they could do, and because I had mentioned in our pregame that maybe Ty Miller might be the next pitcher for them because of the way it played out last game, they might try and get an inning here or 2 out of McMonagle. And then when Schaus's spot in the lineup comes back up, he could go back in. Miller, who is in right field, could then come to the mound, and then Schaus goes to the outfield. Crickey goes to right, which was their alignment yesterday. So that's just me trying to play manager about an inning or 2 ahead of time, but just trying to map this out a little bit here for Fenwick, as Coach Doc Whelan also has to kind of map this out. Todd Walker's down in that dugout on the third base side for Perkins. What do you got for us, partner?
Coach T.J. Blanton here trying to tamp the guys down now, because everything's going your way. Their ace can't go anymore. We've already got 2 runs. The feeling could be, hey, we got this in the bag. And he's like, hey, we got to get refocused right now. Let's not let this go to our head. There's a long way to go in this ball game.
McMonagle last pitched against Licking Valley in the regional semis for 3 innings of that victory over the defending state champions. Allowed a couple of hits in that game, pair of earned runs, walked 5 in a wild game. That was that 16-6 game they won over Licking Valley to advance to the regional final. So he has been coming out of the bullpen a lot this season for Fenwick, so no surprise for him here.
So as we resume play, we had the great play at third by Connor Enderly, retiring Bryce Davey, but then 3 straight hits, a single by Walton, a triple by Cook, and a single by Cash Cook. And it's 2-0. Cash Cook is the runner at first base, and Sam Scheinfurth, the shortstop, is the batter. Senior hitting .310 without a homer and 13 runs batted in this year. 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning of our D4 title game. Now the righty home, and a first pitch fastball will run outside for ball 1. The top of the order yesterday did very well for the Perkins Pirates. You had 3 of the top 4 in the lineup, or 5, all have 2 hits, as that's going to be a strike. Of course, yesterday they did pound out 13 hits in their win, scoring 12 times. Now the pitch. That one off the glove of McCullough will go to the backstop, and on to his way to second base is going to be Cash Cook.
Todd, you talked about those hits, the 13 they had yesterday, which really, again, just plays into the absurdity of what we saw yesterday in that game. They only had 1 hit through 3 innings.
That's right.
And still had 4 runs on the board by that time.
Well, they were putting the ball in play without any trouble. Their opposition just wasn't doing their part in fielding it correctly. 2 balls and a strike now on Scheinfurth. McMonagle sets and fires. That one skips in for a ball. 3-1. I don't know if there's anybody, Marty, that still scores at home, but that was a wild pitch. Advancing Cook to second base. Now the 3-1. Misses outside for ball 4. So it'll be a 1-out walk, and there will be 2 base runners on now for Perkins. And Braxton Martin, the opposing pitcher now for Perkins, will stride to the plate. Senior hit .300 during the year. Martin was honorable mention all conference for them. Now the pitch. And there's a strike on the outside corner. What a tough spot for McMonigle to have to come in here. Already a little bit of pressure on you. You got to get outs here with a 2-run deficit. Next offering. Did hit the outside corner for a strike. Good location, and now Martin behind, 0-2.
Well, I'm sure Doc Whelan told his team, just as T.J. Blanton told his team, it's a Johnny Holstaff day today. Anybody who's eligible will pitch.
Now the 0-2. Ground ball left side. Shortstop will backhand it. Kaufman's throw across, and he beat it out. Just flat out outran the baseball, and Braxton Martin's got an infield single, and Perkins has the bases loaded.
Good play by Kaufman on the backhand, but his momentum was carrying him towards third base, and he was off balance when he made the throw. And as you mentioned, Braxton Martin hustling down the line to beat it out, and Perkins not wasting any time here, putting Fenwick in a big-time hole.
Quentin Bignette will stand in, first baseman. Big fella hit .260 without a homer and 12 runs batted in this season. Corners are in. First pitch fastball is a strike, and it's 0-1. Bignette 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored yesterday. Now the pitch. Went after a high fastball, and he's behind 0-2. Caleb McMonigle, senior pitcher. He comes set, and the pitch. Strike 3 called right at the knees. Well, Bignette must have been looking for something else because that was right down the middle.
And if McMonigle can work out of this jam right now with the way this inning has started to unravel for Fenwick, what a boost it'll be for those Falcons if he's able to do this.
Bases loaded now for Dante Shipp, left fielder. First pitch fastball for a strike. Yesterday, Perkins sent 8 to the plate in the first inning. Today, they send 8 to the plate in the first inning. Shipp was 1 for 4 yesterday. Now the pitch. And he fouls it off. Boy, these last 2 hitters, McMonigle looks completely different. Like, after that walk, he kind of shook everything off and said, okay, now I'm ready to go. 0-2 with the bases loaded. Infield back at all 4 positions now. Here's the 2-strike offering. A little low this time, 1-2.
McMonigle, very unique delivery, shows the baseball behind him, then comes back around and delivers with the right hand.
Well, everything is unique.
Yeah.
As he comes set, his left foot almost is towards the on-deck circle. Next pitch will miss down low. He starts in like a closed stance, and by the time he comes set, that left leg is pointed at about a 45-degree angle towards the dugout on the third base side. Now the 2-2. Fouled back and out of play. So a good battle here with the left fielder Shipp, who is playing with a wrist on his right wrapping on his right forearm, where he suffered a cut and 9 stitches back on Monday. 2-2, a little high. They played a game with Tiffin Calvert, who also was here in the state tournament this weekend on Monday, so both teams didn't have a long layoff. Shipp trying to make a catch on the outfield fence, ended up cutting his arm open. They're just lucky to have him here this weekend. Bases loaded, the 3-2 pitch, and he fouls it back, able to stay alive by getting a piece. Cash Cook at third, Sam Scheinfurth at first, Braxton Martin, or I should say Scheinfurth at second, Martin over at first. They're off and running with this 3-2 pitch. Pop back and out of play off to the left.
One of the things that Perkins did do well yesterday, Todd, they were 8 for 17 with runners in scoring position in that game yesterday against Mooney, so they converted opportunities.
Perkins already leading 2-0. Trying to add to that lead here in the bottom of the first. The pitch. Low for ball 4, and he walks in a run. Pretty good pitch that Chip laid off of, and it was just below the strike zone. And now coming out of the dugout is going to be Doc Whelan just to visit with everybody. He ended up walking right to his catcher and then walked him out to the mound.
Fans, don't forget you can get your game day tickets by using Hometown and then save them to your phone. That provides you with easy check-in at the gate. As the exclusive online ticketing partner of the OHSAA, Hometown gives you a simple and secure way to search, buy, and scan your tickets. Download the Hometown fan app from your mobile app store today. That's the App Store. Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation. To make game days effortless, visit hometown.com to learn more.
That run charged to Carter Schaus, so his line is completed. A third of an inning, 3 runs, 3 hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Bases remain loaded for number 9 hitter Grant Parker, and the right fielder takes high for ball 1. Parker, 350 hitter out of that 9 spot without a homer and 7 runs batted in. 3-0 Perkins. The pitch. Checks and takes a strike on the outside corner to make it now 1-1. Grant yesterday 1 for 4 with a run scored. Now the pitch. Pop back out of play. And to count 1-2. Well, we saw Jude McCullough, the catcher for Fenwick, make an unbelievable play behind the plate, catching a foul ball yesterday, sliding to his knees towards the backstop, caught it over his shoulder, then got up and threw out a runner at second base who was tagging from first. The 1-2. Line drive coming on in center. Creaky dives forward, rolls over, and hangs on to the baseball. Maybe a game-saving catch by Hudson Creaky to end the bottom of the first inning. He doesn't make that, and they're still running around the bases. But Perkins will score 3 times here in the bottom of the first, and they lead this Division IV state championship game as we pause for these messages from your local station. 3-0 over Fenwick. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in Ohio are safer than ever before. And that's something I really love.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Moving along now to the top half of the second inning of play. We'd like to welcome the OHSA Radio Network affiliates throughout this weekend. Akron's WHLO AM 640, Bucyrus WQEL 92.7 FM, WHBC 1480 in Canton, WCMS 100.3 FM and AM 1350 in Salina, WBEX-AM in Chillicothe, Defiance WONW AM 1280, WMOH in Hamilton, AM 1450, Millersburg's WKLM 95.3 FM, and 99.7 FM WKSD in Van Wert. Enjoy being a part of all of the OHSAA network broadcast. Whether you're listening on the radio, streaming online, or on the NFHS network viewing, we're happy that you are with us. First pitch swinging, Jude McCullough hits it to left, and the third consecutive out to the left fielder, Dante Shipp. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
Difference of the first two is he had to just basically barely get out of his tracks to make the catch. That one he had to move a little bit. That ball was solidly struck by McCullough.
So 1 out, and Boyd Westerfield, first baseman, will now stand in for Fenwick. They're down 3-0 here in the second inning. Westerfield, 273 hitter, batting from the left side. also first pitch swinging to first base, down to his knee vignette, flips to the pitcher Martin covering. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the second inning.
This is the inning yesterday where Fenwick took charge of the game against Fairfield Union. If you remember, Todd, they scored 5 times yesterday, the top half of the second inning. But here, as you said, 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Here's Ty Miller, Fenwick right fielder, 269 hitter. No homers, 18 runs batted in. Braxton Martin home, and he will deliver strike 1. Miller went 1 for 4 yesterday. Fenwick had 8 hits in their win over Fairfield Union yesterday in the semifinal. 0-1 by Martin. Swing and a miss. And it's very quickly 0-2. Braxton Martin, he's out there throwing free and easy like someone who just picked up a 3-0 lead. Long look in this time for Carter Cook. Now Martin comes set and fires. That one a little low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the right-hander sets, and the 1-2. Fouled back off the screen. Miller, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Nick Bachman is waiting on deck. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to go after one up and out of the strike zone. Martin gets his first strikeout, and it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the top half of the second. We'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. Perkins leads Fenwick 3-0. This is the state baseball tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From planking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Chocolate Milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
Check out the OHSAA on social media. Follow at OHSAA Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Bottom half of inning number 2 here at 717 Credit Union Park. Perkins, who sent 9 to the plate, 2 different pitchers for Fenwick in that first inning. And so it'll be Bryce Davey, the top of the batting order, to start this over again in the second. Bryce Davey was retired on a terrific diving play by Connor Enderly, the third baseman, over in foul territory to start the bottom of the first inning. Davey, a second-team all-conference performer, will stand in. 3-0 Perkins on top in the bottom of 2. Second pitcher of the day, Caleb McMonigal will deliver, and Davey will foul it back off to our left into the sweet area, and the count is 0-1. Davey, now 2 for 4 here in this state tournament with a couple of runs batted in. The pitch drops down a bunt, but it's foul. It's behind the plate. Davey, who hustled all the way through the line, will now have to circle back and come back to the plate. A cooler but muggy morning. Quite humid with the rain that is on its way this direction. We are very fortunate to be able to get this thing underway on time today and hopefully be able to beat what is coming this direction. Now the 0-2, and McMonigal hits the inside corner for strike 3. So that'll be the second strikeout for McMonigle, who again has been sharp since the first batter that he faced. Even his walk last inning was a borderline 3-2 pitch called a ball. And now Talon Walton with one out will stand in. He got the 3-run rally going in the first by singling last inning. And he'll check and take a pitch in the dirt here for ball one.
You could almost see, Todd, after the first batter he faced, the velocity pick up a little bit on his fastball. I think it's pretty obvious he was just comfortable then after that.
Well, again, you illustrated it, but the whole warm-up process for him was not great as this pitch is up high. He thought, or he and two other teammates thought, he was told to run to the bullpen and go start loosening up because there might be something wrong here with Carter Schaus. He got 375 feet to right center where the bullpen is as Walton swings through, and it's now 2-1, and they're yelling, "No, we need you over here on the mound." Then he had to run in from right field. That would have ruined the whole rest of my weekend just to have to make that run. And
so he got his steps in at least.
Now he's got a pitch. Nobody on, one out, the 2-1 pitch. And Walton fists one to right field, and that drops in for a base hit. And Talon Walton is now 2 for 2 here in this state championship game.
That was right in on the hands, as you mentioned, and a good piece of hitting there by Talon Walton, dropping it to the opposite field. And a good pitch by McMonigle, and Walton just did all he could with it right there. A nice piece of hitting.
So one out base runner. And this will bring up Carter Cook now. Right-hander home. And this pitch will be in there for a called strike. Carter Cook tripled home run last inning. Walton the lead at first base. Now this is a team that will run. There's a pitch that's a strike again, and it's now 0-2. They have 121 stolen bases on the season. Oh, and 2 on Carter Cook. The pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is a ball. McCullough bobbles it, and Walton has the base stolen.
I don't know that he would have had him regardless if he'd have held on to the baseball. Walton had a great jump over at first base.
That'll be stolen base number 19, and apparently that last pitch was a called strike on Cook. So Carter Cook is retired on strikes. And so now there's 2 outs with a runner at second, and this pitch is going to be fouled back and out of play. Well, Cook was surprised. I was surprised. But either way, there's now 2 down. Cash Cook singled and scored last inning, the starting pitcher in yesterday's semifinal. Walton takes off at second. The pitch bounces in, and Walton makes the turn at third and will hang on right there. It'll be a stolen base because he was off and running. And so now there's a runner at third with 2 outs. And now McMonigle just has to work here to the batter, Cash Cook. He'll be playing his collegiate baseball at Division II Ohio Dominican in Columbus. Talon Walton still uncommitted as this pitch comes in off the glove of McCullough, and here comes Walton. Steals second, steals third, scores on a wild pitch, and it's 4-0.
Now, the pitch before, he caught a little bit of a break, did McCullough, because the ball ricocheted off to his left, and he could keep the play in front of him there. This time, the ball goes right past him to the backstop, and Talon Walton never hesitated and sprinted down the line and scored easily.
So a 4-0 advantage now for the Pirates here in the second inning. 2-1 pitch. That'll run outside for a ball. Was mentioning that Walton still surveying the landscape for his next move in terms of college baseball. Now the 3-1, and that is outside for ball 4. So Cook will draw a 2-out walk now. Third issued by McMonigle, and the Pirates keep the inning alive, and Sam Scheinfurth will now be the hitter. Scheinfurth walked. He was the first batter McMonigle faced last inning after Carter Schaus was had forced to exit the game. And drew a walk. Cash Cook the lead at first. This pitch misses inside. They do have a member of their baseball team that will be playing college sports next year. It's Blake Parker, a member of their talented football team, and was battling hamstring injuries early in the year. Came back from one hamstring injury and about a week later injured the other hamstring, which sidelined him for the rest of the year. This pitch up over the head of Scheinfurth, off the glove of McCullough, and advancing on another wild pitch is going to be Cash Cook down to second base. All of a sudden, McMonagle kind of lost all feel of the baseball.
We were talking about how he seemed to have settled down and was really picking up some velocity with his fastball, but you're right, all of a sudden he's just wide of the plate, in the dirt.
Now the 2-0. Scheinfurth takes up and out of the zone, but to finish that, Blake Parker was a football commit to Ohio University, where he will be a Bobcat down in Athens and become Marty Bannister's best friend.
I need all the friends I can get.
Now the 3-0. Scheinfurth takes it right through the middle. TJ Blanton, he is a graduate of Bowling Green State University, where our Todd Walker calls their games. 3-1. And that is high for ball 4. So Scheinfurth will draw a walk, and well, now all of a sudden McMonagle can't throw a strike, and this has truly, Marty, turned into the worst-case scenario here for Fenwick in the first 2 innings of this game.
But again, I think it goes back to what we were just talking about McMonagle. Looked really good there all of a sudden, but then after the single by Walton and then the strikeout of Cook, the stolen bases, but everything else has just unraveled quickly.
Fastball here, and Braxton Martin was sitting on it, and he took a huge hack and came up empty. 0-1. Martin had an infield single his first time up, hitting a ball in the hole at short and just outran it. Now he fouls this one back against the screen, and it's 0-2. Fenwick, trying to keep this a 4-run deficit right now. Nothing in 2. Right-hander sets. The runners both go. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that'll end the bottom half of the 6th inning. Perkins gets another run. They do it with just 1 hit, and they leave a pair. We move along to the 3rd inning of play and pause for these messages from your local station. It is Perkins 4 and Fenwick 0. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
Being a teenager is tough. There's the constant pressure to be liked.
Endless worrying about college.
Cyberbullying, high expectations, all the negativity.
There's no question. Being a teenager is tough. And what do Ohio's teens do when they want to block out the noise and clear their heads?
We play!
Research shows that teenagers who participate in high school sports have lower stress levels, more confidence, and greater self-esteem. And then there's the biggest benefit of all.
High school sports are fun.
Not just fun.
They're a lot of fun.
Encourage your teenagers to participate in a sport or activity when they go to high school. They'll stress less and smile more. And they'll be laying the foundation for a happier, healthier future.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Top half of the 3rd inning, the Perkins Pirates lead Fenwick by a score of 4-0 in our D4 State Championship game. And here for the 3rd, Marty Bannister.
Todd, thank you. 8-9-1. Nick Bachman, Connor Enderly, then back to the top for Hudson Crakey for Fenwick, trailing 4-0. 4-5-0 for leading Perkins. 0-1-0 for trailing Fenwick. And the first pitch from Braxton Martin to Nick Bachman is a called strike. Todd Walker is patrolling the dugouts for us. TW, what do you have?
Yeah, down here for Fenwick, Coach Doc Whelan has just been talking with everybody about staying focused, and he's been barking out fundamentals. So, to every guy that goes to bat and every pitch, I think he's trying to keep the guys focused on the little things rather than the big picture that they're down 4-0.
Martin had Nick Bachman all tied up on a breaking ball that he swings and misses. Bachman hitting .230. He's a junior. The next pitch misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Perkins got 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st and just tacked on 1 more in the bottom of the 2nd. From the stretch, Martin the pitch. This one is fouled just off the glove of the catcher and will roll meekly to the backstop. Count holds it a ball, 2 strikes. Perkins, the school located in Sandusky, Erie County, near the city of Sandusky. They're in the Sandusky Bay Conference. They were champions of the Lake Division. Fenwick is in the Greater Catholic Co-Ed League. 1-2 pitch, struck him out swinging, in tight and close. 1 down, 2 straight strikeouts, 1 to end the second, 1 to start the third for Braxton Martin. School located at Fenwick in southwestern Ohio in Warren County in the city of Franklin. Here's Connor Enderly. They did not win their division in the GCL Co-Ed, but regardless have reached the state championship. Charging in at third is Ty Walton, who had been back through the edge of the infield and outfield, the infield dirt and the outfield grass, and came charging into the cut now, just a step ahead of that at third base. First pitch is a ball. Next pitch to Enderly, swing and a miss. Enderly, 280, no homers, 13 runs batted in. In yesterday's semi, Enderly was 0 for 2. He's a sophomore. 1-1 pitch, called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braxton Martin, 5'7", 165 pounds, senior right-hander. The 1-2 is chopped up third base where Walton will bend over, pick it up. He was back on the dirt. Good strong throw is in time to take care of Enderly. And there are 2 outs here in the top half of inning number 3. Back to the top of the Fenwick Falcons batting order for Hudson Creaky. The lineup card that Fenwick provided, and they have these initials on their warm-up jerseys as well, too, said BFFs. Bishop Fenwick Falcons, or Best Friends Forever. Todd, I know you're big on things like that, internet and all those way the kids talk these days. Here's a pitch just upstairs and high. It's 1-0. You can find Todd Bell social media wide. He's everywhere. Unavoidable. The 1-0 pitch is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Creaky in center field today. After playing right field yesterday, made a sensational catch in the bottom of the first inning in this game, which saved probably 3 runs. Next pitch hit the outside corner. It's 2-1 to the right-handed hitting center fielder, a junior. No homers and 15 batted in. BFFs. The 2-1 is punched slowly into short right field past the diving second baseman Madison Souter. The right fielder Grant Parker had a notion of trying to throw out Creaky at first base, but decided to hang on to the baseball. And the 2-out single gives Fenwick their first base runner since the first inning. And here is Caleb McGonigal now in pitching for Fenwick. McMonigal, a .400 batting average with no homers and 6 runs batted in, has a couple of doubles to his credit. Swings the bat from the right side of the plate, and the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Keith Bailota, Jason Hathaway, David Graybeal, and Todd Cook are our umpires, plate first, second, and third, respectively. I think everybody named Todd is involved in this game here today. Here's the 0-1. That one just a bit low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Todd Bell in the booth. Todd Walker in the dugout. Todd Cook umpiring over at third base.
Makes you wonder if any of them ever considered dropping a D.
I don't know. I feel like Mel Kiper. Todd. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carter Schaus started, was lifted after facing just 4 batters. We're surmising that he was shaken up. And McMonigal coming out of the bullpen, now hitting out of the 2 spot. 2 outs, 1 on. The 1-2 pitch struck him out. Wow, just a little off speed, but he was able just to get a piece of it. Either that or he got a piece of it, so the count will hold it a ball, 2 strikes. Keith Bailota, the home plate umpire, doing some housekeeping work, dusting off the dish. Checking the weather radar a short time ago, and we look to be okay. There was a lot of concern. Throw to first and a runner back. They had discussions yesterday, perhaps starting this game earlier, waiting till later in the day. But fortunately, first pitch thrown as scheduled at 10 o'clock this morning. Well, to be more precise, 10:02. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one is ripped over the head of the third baseman, Walton, down the left field line. Rounding second base is Cracky. He's coming to third. He gets the go sign at third. He will round the base, and he will score standing up. And Perkins on the board on the RBI double by Caleb McMonagle. It's now 4-1.
Well, Dante Ship down in that left field corner tried to get over to cut it off, and it ended up skipping past him and going all the way down to the corner. And so that easily allowed Creaky to get around and score.
Todd Walker, you had a pretty good look at that play.
Yeah, Ship almost got to it. He knew he didn't want it to get down in that nook in that corner, but it went off the edge of his glove as he reached over on the warning track, and that made it easy for the runner to score.
So a 2-out double by McMonagle. It's 4-1. First pitch to Isaac Barker, the second baseman, is popped up on the infield, back by the mound, and Braxton Martin made the catch, then tumbles over the first baseman, Quentin Bignette, who was coming in to also try to take charge of that. Looks like Martin's okay, and that will do it for Fenwick here in the top half of the third. They get a run on the double, and we go to the bottom of the third in the Division IV state championship game. It's Perkins 4, Fenwick 1. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament. It's brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Welcome to the home of Gridiron Legends, the newly renovated Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Walk among the immortals of football inside the Hall of Fame gallery. Here you can stand face to face with the men who built America's game. Relive the greatest moments of Super Bowl history in the Lamar Hunt Super Bowl gallery and stand before the Vince Lombardi Trophy, while the NFL Today gallery is home to the NFL's most recent record-breaking moments. Plan your visit to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today at profootballhof.com.
Yes! Big money bet right there.
Dad, what's a big money bet? Can I do it?
Well, sweetie, betting is risky, so it's only for adults.
But I want to win money too.
I won this time, but I don't always win. That's why it's called gambling, and it's not for kids, okay?
Okay.
Let's just watch the game.
Youth who gamble are 4 times more likely to experience a gambling disorder as an adult. Be aware, check for risks, guide their choices, help prevent youth gambling. Visit ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
You are listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
4-1 as we go to the bottom of the third here at 717 Credit Union Park. Perkins leading Fenwick by the score of 4-1. It's the D4 championship game. Quentin Bignette, Dante Ship, Grant Parker, the scheduled hitters for the Perkins Pirates. Todd Walker, Quentin Bignette's one of the many members of this Perkins team. That's a dual sports star.
Yeah, he's no doubt about that. And, you know, he was struggling earlier this year at the dish after being one of their better hitters last year. He really worked with his dad, taking extra batting practice, and then they used him as a pinch hitter during a game late in the season, and he got a hit, and that just sort of sprung it in his head, talking with the coaches, and he's been productive since then. But it just shows you baseball is such a mental game, but he worked his way out of it, and, of course, he's the spiritual leader on this team, too. He's one of the most talkative guys in the dugout, and if he can get something going here to lead this off, it's going to fire this team up. It's because they all love Q, and they're ready for him to come through big here.
Took a called third strike in that 3-run first inning, did Bignette. Swings the bat from the right side of the plate. He and the pitcher, Braxton Martin, collided just a bit on that infield pop-up to end the top half of the third, and Martin hanging on to it. McMonagle delivers the first pitch, a fastball. That's high and away to Quentin Bignette. 4-1 again is the score. Perkins on top.
Not afraid of contact.
Wide stance at the plate, goes after the next pitch and fouls it back.
Had a collision yesterday as the base runner with the first baseman for Mooney. A throw that was high. He landed back on the bag, and Bignette just kind of ran him over. Quite the discussion after that.
Time is called. Bignette will back out of the box for a moment. Fenwick wearing the visiting red jersey tops with white trim lettering and numerals and red piping down the side of the white jersey pants. Perkins in the home black jersey tops. The 1-1 to Bignette is low. It's 2 balls and a strike. And since both these teams did stay the night, the uniforms are the same ones they had on yesterday, so there wasn't a chance to run them out to the nearby laundromat and get them taken care of. So there's still the remnants of yesterday's game on both jerseys and pants. 2-1 delivery is poked back foul out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Final game of the high school baseball season, and for the OHSAA in the 25-26 school year, and it takes place here in Akron in the state baseball championships. 2-2 to number 22, Bignette, and the pitch misses outside, and the count is now run full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bachman, Creaky, Miller, the outfield, left, center, and right for the Fenwick Falcons. The payoff to Bignette, ball 4, high and away. And that'll bring up Dante Ship, who walked his first time up. Todd, you were talking earlier about Ship with that wrist injury. They're going to get a pinch runner now for Bignette out at first base as Ty Obergefell, who scored one of their runs yesterday in that pinch hitting role, will go down to first and run for Bignette. That was a scary moment for Dante Ship.
Yeah, well, and Coach Blanton, when I spoke to him earlier in the week, he's like, you know, hey, it's good for us to get out there to play. We know the game itself doesn't matter, but we're playing it as a game, and it's Calvert, another team. They both just kind of wanted to get some reps without having such a long layoff in between games.
Throw to first, and the runner, Obergefell, dives back.
So he said he had the Ship injury happen, and then like the next half inning, Talon Walton got hit by a pitch in the wrist, and he was like, nope, everybody's out. And he just started making subs. Don't care what happens the rest of the game, but you guys are done playing.
Next pitch is bounced slowly to the first baseman, Westerfield. He'll dive head first to the bag and slap the tag on the bag to take care of Ship as the pinch runner, Obergefell, goes safely in at second base. Boy, Westerfield was kind of caught in a tough situation right there. And after he fielded that ball, he turned and looked and realized, I got to get to the bag in an absolute hurry and use some of that 6-foot frame to stretch out.
Yeah, the only course of action he had was that hit first dive and to hit the bag with his glove, and did a terrific job to do that. And then Ship did a good job of avoiding stepping on him as well.
Here's Grant Parker, the right fielder. So the runner at second now with one down. The first pitch to Parker sails high for a ball. Parker hit a fly ball to center his first time up, and that ended the bottom half of the first. A 3-run bottom half of the first for the Perkins Pirates. McMonigle delivers. Pitch is a bit high. They check, and he did not go around. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
That play at first base goes back to the discussion we had yesterday about a double first base. How if you have the double first base, way less chance of anything happening there because Ship would have hit the other bag and wouldn't have had any issues.
Here's the 2-0 delivery. It is high. Ball 3. Let's pause 10 seconds. Let stations identify themselves on the great OHSAA radio network. .3-0 pitch to Grant Parker is a called strike. He was ready to discard the hitting utensil and run down to first base, thinking it was ball 4, but it is strike 1, so it's 3-1 now. Top of the order, and Bryce Davey awaits. We're in the bottom of the third, the D4 championship game. 4-1, Perkins leads Fenwick. 3-1 pitch is popped up on the infield. The shortstop, Kaufman, comes racing in. On the edge of the infield, Grass makes the catch. And 2 are down now to the top, and here's Bryce Davey. Sun really not a factor. We saw some of that yesterday. That was an issue for a lot of fielders yesterday, trying to take care of fly balls with the bright sunshine. But overcast, gray skies here today with some mix of clouds and sun. Weather on the 10 brought to you by Bryce Davies. Already been to the plate twice as we play here in the third inning. He's popped out to the third baseman on a great play and took a called third strike in the second inning and fouls the first pitch here to the backstop. Carter Schaus started for Fenwick, left the game after facing 4 batters, and now Caleb McMonigle on the mound, a right-hander. And a balk was called. So that will move the runner Obergefell over to third base. Todd Walker, did he just not come set? Is that what the call was there?
I wish I could tell you, but I happen to be looking at another part of the diamond. So, but that's what we've seen a couple of times. Yeah.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, a bunt, and it's popped up, and the pitcher, McMonigle, will drift over between third and first and catch the pop, and that takes care of inning number 3. So Perkins unable to push across another run. We go to the 4th in the D4 championship game. Still a 4-1 lead, Perkins over Fenwick. We'll pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSA State Baseball Tournament.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who play high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Each of the last two half innings have ended with pop-outs to the pitcher on the infield. We go to the fourth in the D4 championship game. It is Sandusky Perkins 4 and Bishop Fenwick 1. Along with Todd Bell in the booth, Todd Walker in the dugout. Either one of them, take your pick. Brian Baker's our producer. And shout out to RB, the producer, the marathon man himself, manning every game here at 717 Credit Union Park, spinning the dials, keeping all of the many, many announcers he has to work with in some sort of professional mindset, which is very hard to do. If you know any of us or have heard any of us over the years, doing just a remarkable job, regardless of what Todd Bell will say. Baker's done a tremendous job. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the shortstop and cleanup hitter, Jackson Kaufman, to get things started here in the fourth for the Falcons of Fenwick. They had all kinds of foul mentions yesterday. They were playing the Fairfield Union Falcons at the home of the Rubber Ducks. First pitch here is spanked foul up the third baseline. That's right, in foul territory. Thank you very much. Kaufman, a fly ball to left, his first time up. .391, the batting average on his resume as he comes to the plate for the second time in this state championship game. Right-hander Braxton Martin on the mound. Spells his first name Braxden. Dealing from the stretch. The 0-1, off speed and high. And the count goes to a ball and a strike.
Only 35 pitches needed for Martin through the first 3 innings. He has had that bulldog mentality that we expected here today.
Wrestler, leading tackler on the football team. Next pitch is a called strike. It's 1-2.
So then how did he let Bignette knock him over last half inning?
Well, Martin was backing up, so he didn't see him. And the simple fact he held on to that pop was a pretty good play. 1-2 pitch is popped up down the right field line, and racing over is the second baseman, Madison Souter. Had a long way to go. Made a nice running catch, a couple of steps into fair territory before he got to the foul line. 1 down.
Not an easy play. Souter playing in second base because Martin is the third baseman. Walton moves to short. Shineforth goes from second over to short, so Souter has to come out and play second base, and that was a wonderful play.
Here's the catcher, Jude McCullough. McCullough, a fly ball to left in his first and only at-bat of this game. First pitch from Martin, he inside out swing and pumps this one over the netting into the seats. On the first base side, 0-1, Jude McCullough.
Yeah, Bignette, the catcher, and the pitcher Martin all converging over there on the dugout. The way Bignette was racing over to the dugout railing, I felt was fearful for the dugout railing. It was just another thing he was going to take out in this series.
I'm talking about that bulldog mentality right there. Let nothing stand in your way. No balls and a strike. Martin ready in the pitch. Misses a bit high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The hotel we've been staying at here in Akron has been a popular choice of a number of the teams competing here. Moeller was at that hotel. Tiffin Calvert was there. The Perkins folks were there. Here's a pitch. Hit down the right field side. Parker races over, makes a nice running catch. Chest high. That ball was tailing away from him, and he got there in an absolute hurry and made a nice running catch for the second out of the inning.
Well, Marty, it's good to see that Perkins' little hangover from yesterday's error fest has not carried over to today. They have played a real clean, solid game defensively today.
Here's Boyd Westerfield, the Fenwick first baseman. Westerfield, his first time up, bounced out. First baseman with the pitcher covering. And the first pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. The Perkins folks are at the same hotel. Saw some of those folks earlier this morning on the way to the checkout line to get out of the hotel. 0-1 pitch, misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. City of Akron does a great job of hosting these events. The folks here at 717 Credit Union Park do a wonderful job. Inside out swing, pitch fouled over the netting on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Boyd Westerfield. Rhythmic clapping from the third base side. That's where the Perkins folks are cheering on their pitcher and their defense. Martin's 1-2. This one is again fouled to the facing of the grandstand area here. This facility located in downtown Akron, just wedged into the downtown area here. Two outs. Here's the 1-2 from Martin to Westerfield. Struck him out with a little off-speed pitch on the outside corner. And that takes care of Fenwick in the top half of the fourth. For the second time today, Martin sets him down in order. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Perkins still leads Fenwick 4-1 in the D4 title game. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Once again this June, it's a double play Akron as host of both the OHSAA softball and baseball state tournaments. For almost 20 years, the OHSAA softball state tournament has been held at historic Firestone Stadium, while the baseball state tournament is now hosted at both Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium in Canton and 717 Credit Union Park in downtown Akron. The Akron Summit County Convention and Visitors Bureau is proud to host Double Play Akron. Learn more at visitakron-summit.org.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Get state tournament photos, programs, apparel, DVDs, and more in the OHSAA Fan Guide. Find it at ohsaa.org.
Perkins leading Fenwick 4-1 as the Pirates bat here in the bottom of the fourth. Fenwick coach Doc Wheeland, I asked him, he's not a doctor, but back in the day, he and his friends started a rap group, and he was nicknamed Dr. Do for the band, and the Doc stuck. No joke, guys. So if he's spitting rhymes over there, we'll know why.
Oh, my goodness. Doc Wheelan. Doc Do? Is that what you said it was?
Do, yeah.
Dr. Do. All right. 4-1 here at the bottom of the fourth inning, and Dr. Do's team is down 4-1. First pitch is grounded out to Connor Enderly at third. Low throw. Westerfield tried to make a swipe of that throw that bounced and could not do it. And the leadoff hitter, Talon Walton, reaches safely at first base. E5 on the scoring. So Walton safe at first base. Dr. Do. Did you find out what the name of the group was?
No, but he had a penchant for Mountain Dew, as a lot of us did back in our teenage years.
I got you. Here's a pitch, lined sharply to the shortstop, Kaufman, who flipped to second. Barker for one, then returned to first. Again, a low throw that bounces, and again, Westerfield unable to scoop it out of the dirt. So the force at second goes 6-4 of Walton, and Carter Cook safely at first base.
And that is as tailor-made as it gets for a double play, and you've got to turn that when it gets the second out, but just rush the throw. And again, Westerfield, a tough pick over there, and the dirt couldn't hang on.
So 1 down and 1 on. And here is Cash Cook. That was Carter Cook a moment ago at the plate. And here is Cash Cook. And he tried to check his swing on the pitch and just hit the outside corner for a called strike. The Cooks spell their last name Koch, but it is pronounced Cook. Five hits for Perkins. McMonagle turns and throws in another ball that bounces over to the first baseman, Westerfield. He's able to knock that one down. Bottom of the fourth in the Division IV state championship game. McMonagle, a pitch that bounces away from the catcher, McCullough, and scampering safely over to second base is Carter Cook on the wild pitch. Hear the wind picking up a bit. The flags in left center are blowing straight out. That is the direction the rain is forecast to come from. The pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball right there. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. There has been so much going on sports-wise here the last week or so. Wrapping up here with the OHSA Baseball Championships, the focus of our attention, obviously. The 1-2 from McMonagle is low, and a nice job by McCullough. The NBA Finals have been going on. The College World Series is going on in Omaha. Our friend Jeff Kurtz, who has been the public address announcer here for a number of games, is, I think, on an airplane right now headed to Omaha.
Good for him.
To watch the College World Series.
Gosh darn it, I love that whole tournament from start to finish.
From the stretch, the 2-2 with the runner on, swing and a miss. And a good job by McMonagle of getting the out there and having Cash Cook chase that pitch a little bit low and away. So 2 are down now, and here's Sam Shineforth, the shortstop. Shineforth has walked both times. And of course, Todd and Ryan's favorites, the World Cup is underway as well, too. Runner at second is Carter Cook. Here's the pitch to Shineforth. He's on the move as Cook. The throw is a good one, and they got him at third base. Good throw by Jude McCullough, who's had a good tournament behind the dish for Fenwick, and a big throw right there to retire the attempted steal by Carter Cook, and that takes care of Perkins here in the bottom of the fourth. They get a base runner, but nothing more than that. 4-1. Perkins leads Fenwick. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSA Baseball State Tournament.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Ohio, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
Carter Cook was thrown out to end the bottom of the fourth, trying to steal at third base. And Todd Walker, you noticed, and we did as well here too, but looked like he was shaking up a little bit. He does have the catching gear on, though, and it's coming out. It took him a while, though.
Yeah, he kind of got that leg caught underneath him as he slid into third base, that left leg. But he kind of limped around in the dugout and got a little bit of a rest. Still a little bit of a limp as he came out of the dugout, but he's going to go. And you notice, guys, too, he's got the rip in the back of those pants.
Yeah, I saw that.
That happened yesterday.
Okay.
But my guess is he's not going to change those pants because they didn't lose. So you got to wear them again, right?
Well, as we were saying earlier, you didn't have a chance to go back home or go find a 24-hour laundromat for your uniform. So wearing the same ones you had yesterday. Top of the fifth. And Ty Miller, the right fielder, the left fielder, Nick Bachman, and the third baseman, Connor Enderle, 7, 8, and 9. Here for Fenwick in a game they trail 4-1. And the first pitch from Braxton Martin here in this top half of the fifth is a called strike. We're running down the list of big sporting events going on. Of course, the Stanley Cup continues tonight. 0-1 pitch is a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. In case you didn't hear last night, and how you didn't, I have no idea because every news network is talking about it. The New York Knicks won the NBA championship last night. Martin ready the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs and high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I didn't realize how many people were Knicks fans or are Knicks fans or pretending to be Knicks fans. Goodness gracious. The 1-2 from Martin is poke foul and out of play. I know you're a big Knicks fan, Todd.
No.
Thought maybe we'd see you on Celebrity Row some of those games.
Also no.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, went off speed right there, and pulled the chain on that one on Ty Miller and strikes him out swinging to start the top of the fifth.
4 strikeouts now for Braxton Martin, who just continues to pound the strike zone. Defense is playing behind him well, and he is pitched like somebody who's been in control of this game for a while.
52 pitches for the right-hander, has allowed 3 hits, walked no one, and has struck out 4. And at the plate right now, Nick Bachman, the left fielder, he has struck out in his only plate appearance. That coming back to lead off the top half of the third. 3 in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the second for Perkins, 1 in the top of the third, the only marker for Fenwick. Pitch misses wide of the plate, and the count's 2 balls and no strikes. Is that pizza I smell down in the coming out of the grandstand area?
There has been, I'll tell you, a bit down in the dugout last night. I don't know where it was coming from. I don't even know what it was, but there was a food smell of some sort.
Yeah, whatever that is, it smells dandy. Why don't you run down there and pick up a couple for us, would you?
Here's a guy trying to get me out of the booth.
Here's the guy that's hungry. 2-0 pitch. This is a fastball that caught the outside corner. It's 2-1.
Hey,
you're not back on to the next inning. You got time.
The waffles were fine the last 3 days of the hotel stay. After day 1 and they ran out.
Yeah, you were rather miffed at that. 2-1 pitch is a fastball for a called strike. It's 2-1. I came down and saw you at breakfast. You didn't even say hi. You went, they're out of waffle mix. I mean, gee, good to see you too, Todd. Oh, good to see you, buddy. They're out of waffle mix. Like I can do anything about it.
You're Marty Bannister.
2-2 pitch with 1 out. Just missed on the outside, and the count's run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I come to expect things from you.
Yeah. I know I look like I have a lot of waffles. I've eaten a lot of waffles.
Waffle batter, will you?
My goodness. Bachman trying to generate something here for Fenwick here in this top of the fifth. Struck him out. Nice pitch by Braxton Martin right there. Worked him high with that fastball, then got him on a pitch on the outside corner that Bachman chased and couldn't come away with. 2 are down, back-to-back strikeouts. And here's Connor Enderle, the third baseman.
Well, I saw Baker at breakfast first day, and that was the end of that.
That's where all the waffle mix went.
I don't know. Here's a guy who decided to sleep over waffles.
There we go. First pitch is bouncing, almost a pretty good play by the third baseman, Walt. The ball got under his glove, and racing safely down to first base is Connor Enderle. The shortstop, Shineforth, got to that ball, still made a pretty good throw, made that play close at first base.
Certainly did.
But good hustle by Enderle and a 2-out infield single. And Perkins has a base runner on to the top of the order, and Hudson Krecky. Krecky's grandfather is a teacher at Fenwick and was on their coaching staff of the 81 team. And says he will retire from his teaching once his son graduates. First pitch to Krecky is bounced slowly out to the third baseman. Walton comes in and makes the play. Throw was high. Bignette tried to slap the tag on the runner going by. He got him, but it looked like Krecky got to the base. So they're going to appeal this, I think.
Oh, they're at least going to come out and
talk about it.
Yep.
Good job by Bignette to go airborne and grab the high throw, Todd, and slap the tag on the base runner.
Boy, it looked like on a replay that Vignette, pretty athletic play, was able to slap the backside of the batter runner Hudson Crakey up the first base line.
Well, Vignette's convinced that it's an out. He's already starting to make his way to the dugout. The umpires have come together. Todd Walker had a pretty good look at that from his vantage point, looking up the first baseline.
Yeah, this is one where the home plate umpire, I think, probably got a good look at it if he was able to stare at it, because from my angle, I thought he tagged him. Of course, the first base umpire couldn't see through the base runner, so he obviously didn't have as good a look.
They're going to stay with the safe call.
Okay.
I thought he was out, but the home plate umpire would have had to come out and be looking right at it at the same time, and there's another base runner too, so bad break for Perkins, I think.
So Enderle goes to second base. Safely at first is Crakey. And again, that was a bang-bang play. And give Vignette some credit, an athletic play by the first baseman to haul in that throw and then slap the tag on the runner going by him. But apparently he got there ahead of the slap tag. Vignette still pleading his case with the first base umpire, Jason Hathaway.
Well, big spot now for Fenwick.
Chance to jump back into this game. Here is Caleb McMonagle, who drove in their only run with a hard hit double down the left field line that caused Dante Ship all kinds of problems down there in the corner. First pitch to McMonagle is a ball. So a chance for Fenwick here with 2 down in the top of the 5th in a game they trail 4-1, the D4 title game. Next pitch, swing and a miss. A healthy hack at that one, and he comes up empty. McMonagle came on after Carter Schaus was lifted after facing 4 batters. We're assuming that he suffered some sort of injury while he was lifted. He'd been dealing with an issue coming into the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It is popped up right field side. The second baseman, Souter, still drifting over, is there, makes the catch, and the Fenwick threat goes by the board as Braxton Martin pitches out of some trouble here in this top half of the 5th. We go to the bottom half of, still a 4-1 lead, Perkins on top of Fenwick in the D4 title game. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. This is the state baseball tournament. It's brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
EA Graphics is the official state tournament merchandise partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. EA Graphics is on-site at OHSAA tournament contests with t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and many other apparel items. And it doesn't end when the tournament is over. Check out OHSAA tournament merchandise online at shopohsaa.com. That's shopohsaa.com. EA Graphics and the OHSAA. Wear a piece of history.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
You are listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
4-1 the score. Perkins leads Fenwick. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's the D4 championship game. 2 programs that probably, for the best of our knowledge, have not seen one another, but do have kind of an interesting relationship in their 2 programs, Todd Walker.
Yeah, we saw Father Hunyer for St. John's yesterday out there warming up with the team. Found out he played college ball at Owens in Toledo. He was a pretty good player. Yesterday, I told you about Father Matt Montag here with Fenwick. He played at UC. He's down here in the dugout with these guys. Turns out that Father Montag and Father Hunyer went to seminary together.
Wow.
So they had a little time to reminisce briefly, but quite a connection there. Of course, Father Hunyer's Blue Jays took home the title yesterday. Father Matt's Falcons behind right now, but quite a story there.
And Father Hunyer had a bit of an arm on him, didn't he?
Yes, he
As
did.
he was warming up.
He was warming up yesterday, wasn't he? He was out in the outfield playing catch.
I mean, he was throwing some ropes out there with the Blue Jays. First pitch in the bottom of the 5th to Perkins. As we get it started, it's Sam Scheinforth, the second baseman, the shortstop, brother. He was at the plate when Carter Cook was thrown out trying to steal third base. First pitch, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Next pitch, again, swing and a miss. It's quickly 0-2. Delphos St. John's, one of the teams to win a state championship. Lake Center Christian in Division 6. Waynedale in Division 5. Hamilton Baden Division 3. The New Albany Eagles last night in Division 2. And the Bombers of St. Xavier in Division 1. Next pitch is inside, and the count is now ball, 2 strikes.
GCL, different divisions, had 4 teams represented here at the state tournament, but they could only win 3 titles because St. X and Moeller, same division, played each other.
The 1-2 is outside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the New Albany win last night was a fun story for Coach Sandman and the Eagles winning that title last night.
2-2 delivery is hit out into left field, and it will fall for a base hit. Scheinfurth will stop at first base, solidly hit ball to left, and that is the 6th hit of the game for the Perkins Pirates, and they lead off base runner.
It's only the 3rd hit allowed by McMonigal. They've had a lot of traffic against him. There's been an error, 5 walks, but now 3 hits.
Here's Braxton Martin, the pitcher. He has one of those 6 hits. That was back in the 1st inning. He struck out swinging to end the 2nd inning. He goes after the first pitch, bunts it. It's popped foul territory, and the catcher, McCullough, drifts back and makes the catch just to the upper right of the Rubber Ducks insignia behind home plate, painted onto the field. 1 down, runner holds at first base.
Well, we talked about McCullough and how good he is behind the plate earlier in this game. Made that look very easy, shedding the mask and getting underneath of it.
Here's Quentin Bignette. He has taken a called 3rd strike and walked. Swings from the right side of the plate. First pitch, fastball wide of the plate. TJ Blanton in his 5th year guiding the Perkins Pirates. Career record of 143, 105, and 1. They did have a tie this season, a game against Wauseon that ended 6-6. You'll see a tie in high school baseball at times. Next pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-1. Dealing with light, travel issues, many reasons for ties. The 1-1 pitch is fouled to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pirates have been impressive in the postseason. 3 straight shutouts to get to the regional final when they beat Highland in 8 innings, 6-5. The 1-2. Bignette watches it sail high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fenwick started out with a pair of shutouts, then beat Urbana, the defending state champions from Licking Valley, and then knocked off Roger Bacon by the score of 5-4. Yesterday, winning 7-2. Runner on the move, and the pitch is thrown out to second base. It gets past the covering shortstop as Jackson Kaufman tried to slap down the glove on that low throw, but sliding in safely out at second base is Scheinfurth with a steal. The pitch was the ball, so the count's now full.
14th stolen base for Scheinfurth. The throw beat him, but it didn't take as high as a bounce as Kaufman, the shortstop, thought it was going to, and went right under his glove. It's a great throw, though.
So Bignette now with a runner in scoring position, trying to tack on to the lead here. The pitch is hit out right field side, drifting over Ty Miller, fair territory near the line, reaches up, makes the catch. Scheinfurth going nowhere at second base, so 2 are out, and here's Dante Ship, the left fielder. Ship, 260 coming in, senior. It's low in the batting order. Sophomore Dante Ship Jr. spells his last name S-H-I-P-P. Dante Ship. McMonigal ready, and the pitch is fouled to the backstop. Just goes with it. He plays for the Pirates. Pirates and Ship. Follow along over that.
I got it. I'm all, yes, okay. I got it. Pirate Ship.
I know you're still concerned about the waffle issue, but I was trying to make sure you're still following along here.
Good.
Okay.
Terrific.
Time is called. Ship steps back as McMonigal backs off the 7-17 Credit Union Park rubber. Now back on top. Runner out at second is Scheinfurth. Here's the pitch. Caught the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Now we have another ball called.
Must have.
Striding over to third is Scheinfurth.
Now Coach Whelan is going to come out and talk with the home plate umpire here for a moment.
That'll take a strike off the board if that is the case. Now,
I mean, it was fairly undetectable. I mean,
right.
I didn't hear anybody yelling it. Neither you or I saw it. And so Coach Whelan is going to go out and talk with the third base umpire, Todd Cook, who made the call, and try and get the explanation. It's one of those things where you go an entire year, you probably didn't have a balk called on you all year long. Then you just get a umpiring crew, comes from a different region. Maybe they call it slightly differently in terms of what they'll maybe let slide a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're getting called for a couple of different balks. And we saw that with the softball tournament where all of a sudden a coach had to take a pitcher out because whatever she was doing wrong, she hadn't been called for it all year. Now all of a sudden she has to change it. It was weird.
Scheinfurth moves over to third. There are 2 outs. Pitch hit the inside corner, but a little high. And the count goes to 1-1 again. That balk took that second strike off the board, so it's 1-1 now, the count, with 2 outs. And Scheinfurth over at third. McMonigle to the plate. The 1-1 is punch up the right field side and will fall just fair inside the line and roll towards the corner. Scheinfurth scores easily. Digging for second base is Ship, and a big insurance run on the RBI double down the right field line by Dante Ship. It's now 5-1 Perkins.
Well, great piece of hitting by Ship, just going the other way with a pitch, but a terrific job by right fielder Ty Miller, knowing that once it hits that dirt and the warning track that it's going to just continue its speed. He got over to the wall in a hurry down the right field line to cut it off and make sure it didn't go all the way down to the corner, keeping Ship to a double.
11th run batted in the season for Dante Ship, and it's now 5-1. And the pitch from McMonigle to the 9-hole hitter Grant Parker sails way into the air, and Jude McCullough out of the stance and made a nice catch of that high fastball, which almost sailed over his head. Ball 1. So 5-1 now in favor of Perkins. The 1-0 pitch. This one is popped up. Right field side, first base side. In fact, foul territory. Drifting over is Boyd Westerfield right in front of his dugout and right in front of Todd Walker, and makes the catch. And that takes care of Perkins here in the bottom half of the fifth. But they tack on a run. And as we go to the sixth in the Division IV state championship game, Perkins holds a 5-1 lead over Fenwick. Let's pause for these messages from your local station. This is the OHSA State Baseball Tournament.
The game is over, but this time, instead of asking how many goals did you score or what were your stats, try asking these questions. Were you a good teammate? Were you coachable? Did you give 100%? And did you have fun? Because those are the values that school sports instill in Ohio's young people, where winning and losing are secondary to the life lessons that will stay with kids long after their playing days are over. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a
You
left.
are not going to
Then
believe
what you're
this.
Gonna do is turn
Marcy
into
and
Marcy
Brad just
Avenue
broke up,
and go
and
past the
apparently
first 3
she's
lights,
happy
and
about
then take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
Then
think
drive
she's
5 more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who am
there.
I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
that's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We go to the sixth inning. Perkins on top of Fenwick. They tacked on a run 5-1. And we send things back over now to the movie mogul himself, Todd Bell.
Top of the sixth inning, Isaac Baker will lead things off. The second baseman here for Fenwick. They now trail again by 4 runs. Second time today they've had this deficit. Braxton Martin, who has been a gem on the mound today for the Perkins Pirates, delivers. And it's inside for ball 1. Martin, 5 innings thus far, 4 hits, a run. Without a walk, he has struck out 5. Gotten 7 fly ball outs and 3 ground ball outs to go along with those 5 Ks as that pitch is down the middle for a called strike. Baker is 0 for 2. He is flied to right, and he is popped up in the infield to the pitcher, Martin. 1 ball and 1 strike, the pitch. Up and out of the strike zone. Count now is at 2-1. Isaac Barker hitting out of the number 3 spot here for Fenwick. Second team all GCL performer this year. Junior will take low and outside. 3-1. Only 63 pitches for Martin through 5 innings today, so he has been pretty good. Trying to pitch the Perkins Pirates to their first ever state championship. This is their 4th Final Four and their 2nd appearance in the title game. They lost 3-2 to Mentor Lake Catholic last year. Opposite field, Barker goes down the right field line, and that'll drop in front of Grant Parker for a base hit. So the Falcons will have the leadoff runner on. Barker exuding his teammates in the dugout to make some noise. Well, had their best chance to get back into the game last inning, but it came with 2 outs. They had 2 on before the final out was recorded. Now let's see if they can get something stirring here in the 6th inning. Jackson Kaufman will be the batter. Shortstop is 0 for 2 today with a fly to left and a pop-up to second. Martin to the plate. Overhand breaking ball in there for strike 1 called. Barker will take the lead at first with Bignette holding him on. Long look this time by Martin. Now finally straightens. And the right-hander home. Swing and a miss. Snap throw to first. Diving back in is Barker. Terrific breaking ball from Braxton Martin that had Kaufman way over the top of it. It's 0-2.
68 pitches coming into this inning, TB, for Braxton Martin, allowing those 5 hits. Has struck out 5 and has yet to issue a free pass in this game.
Now the 0-2. Here it is. Breaking ball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yesterday, the Pirates had to use both Cash Cook and Talon Walton in their state semifinal win, 12-7. 1-2. Ground ball rolled slowly to short. Scheinfurth will go to second. They'll get 1 there. The relay is made, but not even close over at first. So they get a fielder's choice, and the leadoff batter is erased at second base.
Now, they may have called interference here, I think, on the runner.
They have. And now the runner will be out at first base. They will say that sliding into second base, Isaac Barker made some sort of contact that was abnormal to the normal slide, affecting the throw. Doesn't matter if it was close or not, but he looked like he slid into the bag, but the second base umpire is saying that he made some sort of contact, whether he reached up and made contact with the fielder. Again, other than its normal slide, and it turns into a double play.
And if you watch Souter try to throw the double play, we're watching the replay up here in the booth. Souter was knocked a little off balance. He got to the bag clearly. That's a tough call right there. Wow.
He it was almost like a pop slide, if you will, and he did come up and make contact with the fielder, and now a ground ball in the hole left side past the diving third baseman. And so now a 2-out base hit by Jude McCullum. It would have been first and second.
Boy, that's huge right there. Huge.
I guess by the letter of the law, it was probably the correct call, but sometimes you have to there wasn't going to be a close play at first base there, and it didn't affect the play. But either way, it goes as a double play, and now they got a runner at first with 2 outs, and we're going to get a pinch runner here for Fenwick after that base knock. And coming on, if I can ever get to my roster, is Tony Wagner.
And obviously, player safety is the thing you always keep in the back of your mind in these type of situations. But again, as you mentioned, there really wasn't any type of the contact that you would think would have caused any kind of danger to the second baseman Souter.
It was all part of the slide, if you will. First pitch will miss down low for a ball. The intent there is, do you slide outside of the base path to make contact? Do you reach up and try and hit the fielder with your arm or grab him in some way to make the throw be errant? That's the intent of the rule there. Now the next offering will miss down low, and Westerveld as a count now of 2-0.
And it's not as if the base runner went in with a rolling slide or had his arms up in the air and trying to deflect or going in spikes up.
Next pitch off speed in there for a strike. So now it's 2-1 on Boyd Westerfield. Boyd 0 for 2 in this game after going 2 for 2 yesterday, swinging through a good fastball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, and the Perkins fans coming to their feet, trying to get the third out here in the 6th inning. 4 outs away from a state championship. They're starting to feel it a little bit. Wagner the lead over at first. The 2-2 by Braxton Martin. Just off the outside corner, it'll be a full count.
Well, and if they come up empty in this inning, you're going to look back at that play, I think, because they had started to generate a little momentum. And if anything, the single by McCullough might have scored a run a moment ago.
Again, the 3-2, this time not made, making sure Wagner didn't take off too soon over there at first base. Again, everybody readies, and the 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, pitch is popped up, second base. Mason Souter drifting back on the cut of the grass will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base in the top of the 6th inning for Fenwick. We'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA. It is Perkins 5 and Fenwick 1. This is the state baseball tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Spectrum News 1, a new kind of news channel dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across the Buckeye State. With your local forecast every 10 minutes and all of the essential news you need 24/7. Plus, in-depth shows and exclusives focused on your community. Always Ohio, always refreshing, always on. We are Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
Hey, Ohio, not every injury happens on the field. Car wrecks, hospital mistakes, slip and falls. When you're hurt, you need more than a quick sub off the bench. You need America's largest injury law firm. There's a reason Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. A reason we've recovered more than $30 billion for people just like you. And a reason we never charge a dime unless we win. Morgan & Morgan, proud sponsor of Ohio High School Athletics. Injured? Just dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
School sports aren't just extracurricular. They are extra important. Find out more at ohsaa.org.
New pitcher on the mound for Fenwick as we go to this bottom half of the 6th and a lead of 5-1 rather. It's Ty Miller, a right-hander, coming on now. Miller will come on for Fenwick, 27 1/3 innings this year. He's 2-0 with an earned run average of 2.56. He'll replace Kaylee McMonagle, who really, in a tough situation, did a pretty good job through 87 pitches, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 5, struck out 5, and gave up a double. And I think all things considered, Todd Bell, even though they're down 5-1, you got to give some props to McMonagle for the way he was able to handle this whole situation coming in, the way he had to come into the game.
Yep, he only gave up the 2 runs. Had a lot of traffic on base, but was able to kind of wiggle out of some problems. And so now he'll give way here to Ty Miller in the 6th inning. Pirates leading here by a score of 5-1 over Fenwick. It'll be the top of the order, Bryce Davey, to lead things off here for the Perkins Pirates. They'll have Davey, Walton, and Cook all set to bat. You've got 5 seniors here on the lineup for the Perkins Pirates, who some will be potentially getting their final swings of their careers here in this 6th inning of play. Davey's a junior, batting from the left side, 0 for 3 in this game from the leadoff spot, and he pops it up right field. Grayson Williamson, as the ball will find you, just came into the game in right field. First pitch, or the first ball is hit right to him. He puts it away for the outs. So Grayson Williamson out there now in right field. He is just a freshman. Probably didn't have it in the back of his mind. He'd be playing right field in a state championship game today when he was getting ready to play this game. As this first offering now to Talon Walton will miss inside for a ball. Talon Walton, 2 for 3, has a couple of singles, reached on an error his last time up, takes inside for a ball. Talented senior wrapping up a terrific career that had him be the most outstanding player in the Northwest District this year. There's a strike. And it's now 2 balls and 1 strike on Talon Walton. 3 hits here in this Final Four this weekend. The pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner to make it now 2-2. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Miller home. That'll bounce in for a ball. Ty Miller took over on the mound in their regional final win, went 5 2/3 innings for the win over Roger Bacon. Payoff pitch is down low for ball 4, and Walton been on base all 4 times in this game. And that'll be the 6th walk of the game now by Fenwick pitching. Yesterday, they only walked 4 times, did Perkins.
We talked a lot in the pregame, Todd, about how the Perkins folks were saying we have to play a better baseball game than we did yesterday, and they have done that. Yep. They have backed up all of that chatter with a very good performance in this final game.
Gotten good pitching out of Braxton Martin. Defense has played well as Carter Cook will stand in and take down low for a ball. Just 1 error in this game, a throwing error by Walton at third, just pulled the first baseman off on a play that looked like might have even been an out. There's a fly ball, pretty well struck straightaway center field. Hudson Crakey back and now to his left, settles under it and makes the catch. That ball was hit a long way. And there's 2 down here in this 6th inning. And this will now send Cash Cook up to the plate.
In fact, Todd, you go back to the 4th inning yesterday when they scored 6 runs in their semifinal win over Mooney. They have outscored now their opponents since that point yesterday, 13-1.
Wow. 5-1 here today. Cash Cook standing in, 1 for 2. Runner at first goes. Pitches a strike. Throw is a little high in on the second base side. And another stolen base now. Talon Walton has 3 steals in this game today. Takes him up to 21 now on the season. He gets into scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the 0-1 is up and out of the strike zone. Also probably wouldn't have thought at 11:45 today we'd have mostly sunny skies and just cruising right along here this morning. Cook got jammed on it, hits it towards third. Enderley's throw over to first gets him, and that will retire the Pirates here in the 6th inning of play. The 2-out walk does no damage. The Pirate fans know that they are 3 outs away from a Division IV state championship. We'll pause for these messages from your local state. It is Perkins 5 and Fenwick 1. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So why do they play?
My reason why is friendship.
Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Fenwick Falcons batting here at the top of the 7th, trailing by a score of 5-1. Michael Kelchmer is going to be a pinch hitter here for Ty Miller in the 7th inning. Kelchmer a senior, going to get one more at bat in his career here in the top of the 6th inning and hopefully try and lead things off to a rally down by 4. Braxton Martin into the windup, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Kelchner playing in just his 9th game this season. 1 for 7 on the year batting. This pitch will be outside for a ball, and it's now 1-1. Pinch hitting for Ty Miller, who was 0 for 2 in this game. Now the pitch. Misses outside again for a ball. Nick Bachman in the on-deck circle here for the Falcons. Nobody out top of the 7th inning. Now Martin sets and the 2-1 pitch. Up and out of the zone, and it's 3-1. Well, they need base runners any way they can get them. Bottom 3 are starting things off here, so they can get them on. They've got the right part of the lineup that would be available to drive them in, but they got to get them on first. Now Martin sets and the pitch. And taking all the way is Kelchner, and he takes low for ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk. First walk of the game issued by Braxton Martin, and it comes to lead off the 7th inning. Well, Nick Bachman now will stand in 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts today after a 2 for 3 day yesterday with an RBI. Martin to the plate, misses down low for a ball. Third baseman Walton even with the bag, middle is back. The pitch. That's high for ball 2.
I was just thinking as we came to the inning, Todd, if you're Braxton Martin, there has to be that little bit of juice.
Absolutely.
Thinking, let's end it right here. Let's get it over with. And maybe, I don't want to say he's trying too hard. I always hate that term used. But he is definitely overthrowing a little bit here and just trying to find the strike zone as quickly as he can.
You know, as free and easy as he's pitched all day with the lead, now he's tensed up just a little bit. And you can understand that for sure, right?
And a good move by his catcher, Cash Cook, to come out and just say, hey, we've got this. Throw strikes. Let our defense do the job.
Do a change of baseballs here as well, as our home plate umpire met Martin halfway between the mound and home plate. They change up the baseball, and now everybody will ready themselves here again at 2-0 in the top of the 7th inning. Runner at first base. Now Martin home. And it misses. Nope. Hit the outside corner for a called strike. Borderline call. Now Bachman will get ready. He was taking all the way there. 2-1 offering. Up and out of the zone. So it is 3-1. Right-hander sets. His 3-1 on the corner. It's now full count. Three and 2, runner at first, the pitch. Popped it back and out of play off to the first base side. They'll do it again at 3 and 2. Something came back and got into the eyes of the catcher, Carter Cook, so he takes a little stroll. Think of all the wear and tear these catchers take behind the plate all year long. Sophomore will crouch back down here as he gets ready to flash the signs on another 3-2 offering coming from Braxton Martin. Ground ball through the middle. Second baseman flips to the shortstop who bobbled and then picked it up just in time to get the out at second base. Souter dove to his right on his knees, flipped it with his glove, and the shortstop, Scheinfurt, just didn't catch it cleanly but picked it up just in time for the out.
I tell you, Mason Souders had a really good game at second base. Made a couple of good catches on balls, one over near the line, and a great stop right there. Just that little backhanded flip, as you mentioned. And Scheinfurt had the presence of mind to drop it, then pick it back up and hang on to it.
Yeah, kind of him a little bit. And he was fortunate and had the wherewithal to get his foot back on the bag to get the out as he was picking the ball up. There's a strike as Connor Enderle will stand in. One out, runner at first, top of the 7th inning. 5-1 Perkins trying to win a state championship in baseball. Enderle 1 for 2 today, takes high, and it's 1-1. This is the 9 spot in the order. Hudson Creaky waiting on deck. A ground ball could end it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, way out in front of an off-speed pitch. And it's now 1-2. Bachman the lead at first base. Martin's 1-2. Up and out of the zone. Leaves the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield back, outfield just about straight away all the way around. And the 2-2 from Braxton Martin. Out of play, behind home plate. So Connor Enderle battling here in the top of the 7th inning. Right-handed batter stands back in. Sophomore third baseman awaits the pitch from Braxton Martin. The 2-2. Low and outside and a full count.
Josh Cummings, Todd, is loosening up down the right field line for Perkins. A right-hander.
3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out. A 4-run lead. And now to the top of the order, and Hudson Creaky. Well, Creaky put the ball in play all 3 times. 1 for 3, grounded out to short to start the game, singled into third, reached on an error at third base his last time up. 2 on, 1 out, the pitch. And it's high for ball 1. Well, Coach TJ Blanton has had no need throughout the course of this game to make any mound visits today. Feel like another wide one, and one might be coming soon. That pitch hits the outside corner. Count now 1-1. Braxton Martin, a senior, has had a terrific year. 3-1 record. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the pitch. On the corner, and it's now 1-2. Hudson Creaky, sophomore center fielder, a .280 average. 1 for 6 here in this state tournament. Right-hander Martin sets at the belt and the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball chopped to Walton at third. He's just going to go to third and get a fielder's choice there. And that'll be the 2nd out. Had a couple ways he could have handled it, but probably the smart decision just to go ahead and get the lead runner for the 2nd out.
I was thinking the exact same thing. You don't want to try and make a throw that might have gotten away from the first baseman or anything along those lines. The heads up, smart play was just to scamper over to third and beat the runner and do the easy thing, tag the base for the force.
So 2 down, and Grayson Williamson is going to be the batter now. He was the young freshman who was put into the game in right field last inning. And so now he will get an at bat.
And so apparently Schaus just unable to get back in this game at all.
Grayson Williamson is playing in his 2nd game of the season. Does not have an official at bat this year. And now Coach Blanton is going to make the stroll out of the third base dugout here.
Oh, by the way, Grayson, we need you to pinch hit here in the bottom of the, or the top of the 7th of the state championship game and keep your season alive right now.
Have to get on base. No sweat. You got this, buddy.
This broadcast is a presentation of the OHSAA Radio Network and the NFHS Network. Any commercial use, retransmission, or distribution without the express written consent of the OHSAA and the NFHS is strictly prohibited. Todd, that means, in other words, don't do it.
Okay.
The announcers and production staff for this game were selected by the OHSAA. For more information, log on to the OHSAA Radio Network. That's at www.ohsaa.org.
Grayson Williamson will bat from the left side. Talon Walton, the third baseman, playing in on the grass. Rest of the infield is back. The outfield has shortened as Williamson will stand in. Enderle at second, Creaky over at first, Martin home. First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Outfield with the wind blowing straight out to left. Now the 0-1. Popped it back and out of play, and the Perkins Pirates are a strike away from a state championship. Martin a little stroll behind the pitching rubber. Puts that right foot back up against the slab. Carter Cook flashing signs. Williamson, the left-handed batter, stands in. The 0-2. Shot foul on the third base side into the dugout.
Young man's hanging tough at the dish right now.
Nothing in 2. Isaac Barker waiting on deck. Again, Martin sets the 2-strike pitch. It's high. 1-2. Two on, 2 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. And Williamson takes high again, and it's 2-2. They'll change up the baseballs here as Martin will flip it back home. Pirates all stationed to the left of dugout reporter Todd Walker. They somehow managed to all fit in the dugout steps, ready to pour onto the field. The pitch. Ground ball towards short. Scheinfurth will flip to second. Souter steps on the bag, and the game is over. The Perkins Pirates have won the Division IV state championship. They pour out of the third base dugout and dog pile right in front of the pitcher's mound. And for the first time, they are state champions in baseball. In the 7th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 walks, and 2 runners left on base. And the final score, it is Perkins 5 and Fenwick 1. We'll pause for these messages from the OHSAA and begin our state championship trophy presentations after this timeout. This is the state baseball tournament brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Max Preps is your source for high school sports. From schedules to stats, live scores, rosters, video, and photos, Max Preps has it all. And when you download the Max Preps app, you can add your favorite teams and get notified on the go. Have your own personalized scoreboards and stay updated on the latest news surrounding your high school team. As a proud partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Max Preps wishes every student, athlete, and coach out there a very successful season.
Once again this June, it's a double play Akron as host of both the OHSAA softball and baseball state tournaments. For almost 20 years, the OHSAA softball state tournament has been held at historic Firestone Stadium, while the baseball state tournament is now hosted at both Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium in Kenton and 717 Credit Union Park in downtown Akron. The Akron Summit County Convention and Visitors Bureau is proud to host Double Play Akron. Learn more at visitakron-summit.org.
The OHSAA softball and baseball state tournaments wrap up the school year and signal the start of summer. And that means the start of football season can't be too far away. This is Todd Bell. Join me and the OHSAA Radio Network crew each week during the football playoffs for the OHSAA Playoff Preview Show and the state championships in Canton the first week in December. Congratulations to all the teams competing for softball and baseball state championships over the last 2 weeks of the season. Have a great summer, and we'll see you this fall.
Did you know that the OHSAA awards more than $160,000 in scholarships every year? Check out details at ohsaa.org.
Final score in our Division IV state championship, Perkins 5 and Fenwick 1. Teams now getting through the handshake line at home plate, where both the runner-up and championship medals and trophies are awaiting these two teams. We're going to have interviews from down on the field and the trophy presentations. That's coming up first, though. Let's pause 10 seconds and allow stations to identify themselves on the OHSAA radio network. One year ago, a heartbreaking loss in the state championship game to Mentor Lake Catholic, 3-2 by Perkins. And this here in their fourth trip to a Final Four, second to a state championship game. Marty, they finished the deal today. And Braxton Martin picked up where Talon Walton left off yesterday on the mound and pitched to beauty.
And again, I'll reference back to that number I tossed at you in the seventh inning. From the fourth inning on yesterday, 15-1. Perkins outscored both Mooney and Fenwick in this championship tournament here. And the way they just rebounded from that awful start to the game yesterday, I think speaks volumes about TJ Blanton's staff and his team. That resiliency, you can't underestimate how important that was, because that game was ugly yesterday.
Yeah.
They were down 7-4 after 3 innings and had 1 hit and had thrown the ball all over the infield. And then what do? Well, now they're state champions and hosting trophies and medals and everything right now.
I would think from the fourth inning on yesterday to today is more of what Perkins baseball is, not those first 3 innings that were a mirage yesterday.
I don't think there's any question about it. And a well-coached baseball team that did everything right on the mound, on the field, at the plate from that 3rd inning on yesterday. Just an impressive performance by Perkins here in Akron.
Stalling a little bit here as they had the handshake line a little late, and Todd Walker's trying to corral the head coach TJ Blanton as that's about to be going on. Fenwick over on the first base side is about to be lining up to pick up a runner-up trophy. This is another proud program coming out of Cincinnati who was looking for its 3rd state championship. They haven't won one since 1981, hadn't even made an appearance in the Final Four since 82. We'll have their presentation in a moment as Todd Walker is standing by down on the field. Don't sit down, stand, Todd, with TJ Blanton.
All right, TJ, I guess last year maybe you learned some lessons, but yesterday was pretty shaky at the beginning. Was there a turning point yesterday? And since the second inning last yesterday, you guys dominated.
Yeah, honestly, I think the turning point was Talon Walton. When he came on the mound, it kind of calmed everyone down, and then we started scoring runs. And, you know, he's Division IV Player of the Year for a reason. He just led us and, you know, took over on the mound, put up zeros, and the team kind of followed his lead, and from there we rolled.
Well, this Perkins team, Talon and Braxton and Talon, those 2 guys have been playing baseball together for, 15 years maybe?
They've been playing baseball forever, and on Sundays they were the 2 guys that threw in the championship, so everyone thought we threw our 1 and 2 yesterday, but we kind of had we pulled a little rabbit out of the bag there and had a little trick up our sleeve when we knew Braxton was definitely a dude that could go 7 innings, and he's going to give it his all no matter what.
Yeah, you've got guys that are multiple sport athletes, and in this game, Dante Shipp, who's a football star, that bases loaded walk in the first inning that made it 3-0 and overlooked that bat in this game.
That was a huge at bat. You know, he battled off, probably swung at a couple ball fours and fouled them off, and ended up drawing a walk, which is another run. And at that point, you know, keep adding on is huge. And 5-1, that could have been the run that won the game.
Meanwhile, Carter Cook, the RBI triple right at the front of the game, got you that first run, and boy, that's always a relief to score first, isn't it?
Yeah. Yesterday we gave up 3 in the first inning. Today, put up a 0 and come out and score 3. That was a huge difference. You know, played calm, played relaxed from there, and from there we just thought if we keep putting up zeros, we just keep putting up one run an inning, and we're going to be okay.
You know, the guy that didn't bat, Mason Sauter, your second baseman. How good was he? How good was he at second base today?
Yeah, absolutely. He made some play in the last inning. I've never seen him make a play like that, and it's like, what a better moment than that. And he tracks down fly balls, and you know, there's a reason he played in the state final game last year at second base, and he played there again today and did a great job.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Thank you. TJ Blanton.
Todd, thank you very much. Fenwick players have received their medals, and now the assistant coaches are being announced, and they're coming down and getting their medals as well. 5-1. Perkins defeats Fenwick here in this state championship game, a game that we didn't know late last night if we would even be able to get in today. Fortunately, the weather gods cooperated and got us a terrific morning to play baseball, and we had a good Division IV state championship game. Fenwick had a couple of opportunities to get back into this game, but again, the Bulldog Braxton Martin was too good out on the mound, and they pick up the win here today. Scott Kaufman with the Ohio High School Athletic Association is down on the field. He will have the presentation of the runner-up trophy to the Fenwick Falcons.
The Division IV State Runners-Up Trophy.
Before we give out not only our last two trophies of the baseball tournament, but the last two trophies of this school year, I want to do a quick shout out and thank you to the Rubber Ducks, Brian, Roy, Chris, the entire staff. 21 games in 4 days. Amazing weekend. Thank you to them. But Fenwick, how about this team for you? Gentlemen, I know today's not what you hoped for, but when this dust settles, you're going to look back and know that you guys did something special this year that hasn't been done at your school in nearly 50 years. You came into this tournament as a number 3 seed. You had to knock out 2 different 2 seeds and a 1 seed to earn a regional championship for the first time in 49 years, which put you in your school's 5th Final Four. Then last night took care of business and playing in your 3rd state championship game. Coach Whelan, I don't know what a first-year coach does for an encore. I'm joined by the Director of Sport Administration, Dr. Joan Crownhour, and it's my honor on behalf of the OHSAA, its board of directors, and over 800 member schools to present the Fenwick Falcons with the 2026 State Runner-Up Trophy.
Seniors of the Falcons on that first base side and grabbed that trophy proudly and hoisted it over their heads. They are a very proud runner-up bunch here today, the Fenwick Falcons. Now we'll pose for some pictures. We'll pause for these messages from your local station. When we come back, it'll be the state championship trophy presentation to the Perkins Pirates. This is the OHSAA State Baseball Tournament.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in Ohio is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
.717 Credit Union Park, home of the Akron Rubber Ducks, the AA affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians. But this weekend, it's been the host, Marty, of 21 games played between here and Munson Stadium in Canton, all the state championship games here. We ended up with a great day. Big thanks out to the crew here in Akron and in Canton, Double Play Akron, and pulling this whole mess off.
They've done a tremendous job in each of the last 2 years dealing with all they have to deal with, make sure the field is playable, all the teams, all the other logistical things they have to do here, and they have done a sensational job. And they are more than gracious hosts here in Akron and do a fantastic job in the OHSAA. I think you would agree with this, and I think anybody associated with this event would agree. Lucky to have this type of facility and this type of relationship with this community to host these games.
Yeah, the commitment that is made by Double Play Akron to pull this off and have this facility used here. We've been here for a while now playing these championship games, and it's been a blast so far. Perkins players have all received their medals. The assistant coaches are coming down the third base line, and they are receiving their medals now from administration of Perkins as they win their first ever baseball state championship. Think about it, Marty. They've had a pretty good run, this group of boys, in all their sports the last couple of years at Perkins.
Nice to see right now TJ Blanton getting a hug from all the administrators as well, too, from Sandusky Perkins. And you're right, all the sports that they have at that school, just a remarkable run.
John Cronauer with the Ohio High School Athletic Association is standing by down around home plate. He will have the presentation of the championship trophy.
Perkins fans, what do you think of the effort these young men put in this tournament? This group of seniors has had great success, not just in baseball, but football and basketball as well, and some near misses, but not today. 25 wins, Sandusky Bay Lake champs 4 years running. They've been to the Final Four 4 times, runners-up last year, and today, state champs. These are the kind of memories that will last a lifetime. Every reunion from here on, this will be the talk of the town. I'm joined by Scott Kaufman from our office staff and Director of Sport Administration. On behalf of our Board of Directors, our Executive Director, all of our staff, and all of our member schools, it is our pleasure to present the D4 State Championship to the Perkins Pirates.
Braxton Martin, who pitched the gem today, grabbed that trophy right away from Scott Kaufman. He immediately hoisted it towards their fans on the third base side, the team following him. And now they all will put their hands on that trophy held high above their heads as they are state champions in Division 4.
And Todd, I don't know if you had a chance to see it or not, but obviously the teams had a chance to exchange handshakes. But after he got his medal, TJ Blanton went to every one of the Fenwick Falcons and shook their hand, gave them a fist bump, including the coaches, including the administrators, the trainers, and whatnot, just to congratulate them on their season. You love to see things like that.
Great sportsmanship on both sides. Let's pause for these messages from the OHSAA. We'll come back with reactions down on the field and wrap up this 2026 state tournament. This is the State Baseball Tournament Championships brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
Ready? It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Chocolate Milk, the official beverage of high school sports, is brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast.
Hometown is the online ticketing partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Access all OHSAA tournament events through Hometown, which gives fans a simple and secure way to search, buy, manage, and access your tickets when you arrive at the game. Hometown is trusted by schools across Ohio and thousands of schools nationwide to make game day effortless. Visit hometown.com or download the Hometown fan app to get in the game.
Hey, Ohio, not every injury happens on the field. Car wrecks, hospital mistakes, slip and falls. When you're hurt, you need more than a quick sub off the bench. You need America's largest injury law firm. There's a reason Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. A reason we've recovered more than $30 billion for people just like you. And a reason we never charge a dime unless we win. Morgan & Morgan, proud sponsor of Ohio High School Athletics. Enter, just dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
You are listening to the State Championship High School Baseball Tournament on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
We return to 717 Credit Union Park in Akron, where the Perkins Pirates have won the state championship. They have now gone out into short left field with a scoreboard behind them, taking all of their photos that they will do with their medals, their trophy, and very soon their chocolate milk. And Todd Walker is going to do his best to wander out that way and grab a player at the conclusion of all of that. But an enjoyable weekend here that finishes with the Perkins Pirates winning their first state championship behind Braxton Martin. And again, just a clean, well-played game today. They steal a lot of bases. They did that again here today, and we got a real good glimpse of what the Pirates have been all year long here today.
And I can't underestimate the importance for them of getting here last year and being so close.
Right.
And that being the driving aspect of trying to get back here. And that's why I think, again, we've referenced the semifinal yesterday a number of times, but when the wheels kind of came off early, they still had that in the back of their minds. Hey, we've been here before. Let's just keep doing what we do, and it's going to go our way. And you could sense that yesterday, I think, in that semifinal, the way they bounced back and then took charge from the third inning on.
It's interesting because we had another team in this tournament, Perrysburg, in Division I. This was their third straight trip to the Final Four. They're 0-3 in the semifinals. Sometimes it's the opponent that you come up against as well.
Exactly.
But for Perkins, they were able to pull off the deal here today. All right, Todd Walker is all the way out behind third. He has got, I believe, Braxton Martin. Go ahead.
Yes, Braxton Martin is here, and let's talk about you and Talon, Braxton Martin and Talon Walton. You guys have played baseball together your whole lives, haven't you?
Yeah, we grew up together. I mean, he's my best friend in the world. I mean, it's crazy the things we've done, the accomplishments we've had. I mean, it's a blessing, that's for sure.
Well, yesterday he had to come in relief and kind of spoiled the grand plan, really, because he should have started today maybe. How did that change your preparation from yesterday to today, knowing you had to start today?
I don't think anything really changed. I'd say just staying locked in and level-headed all night long, not thinking too much, come out here having fun, knowing how bad I want it, knowing how bad we want it, knowing all the work we put in, knowing everything has led up to this moment. I mean, 364 days since we were last here, and it didn't go the way we wanted, and we wanted to rewrite the story, and we did just that.
You are a multi-sport star, football, wrestling, baseball. Baseball probably right this second's your favorite, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Which are you best at, you think?
Oh, dude, I don't even know. I can't answer that question. I'd probably make my other sports coaches mad if I answered that, so...
You talked about last year, that burning that was there, losing in the championship game. Was that like painted on the walls, or was that in your locker to push you throughout the season, or was it just more in the tournament you started to talk about it?
We talked about it all year. Just having it installed in our brains, we couldn't go back to that moment and change it, So I think it stuck with us the whole entire season, knowing what we wanted to accomplish this year. I believe we probably talked about it majority of the games and interviews after games, what we wanted to achieve, what we wanted to get out of the end of the season, and we got the job done, man.
How about Coach Blanton and the staff, about the work and the teaching that they helped to mold you guys?
Unbelievable. They put all their trust in every single one of us. They put us in tough situations. Trust goes a long way, and I stand on that. So, I mean, when your coach trusts you, you can do anything you want to do, so.
Great performance today, Braxton. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Todd Walker, thank you so much, and for all of your work down there and hanging in with Braxton. It's always incredible, Marty, to hear these players after games now. They are so well-spoken for the most part, and after just winning a championship and closing out a high school career, and how well-spoken Braxton was.
Absolutely, and I think so much of his answers kind of fostered around the way that the mindset of that program is. He understood, they all understood what was ahead of them and what they had to do and the work they had to put in to do this. And again, I'll just reference back to what we mentioned just a moment ago, having been here last year, being so close to winning it. And your point about Perrysburg is valid as well, too. But Perkins, they kind of really took that to heart, and that's why they're state champs.
So that'll wrap up our coverage of the 2026 OHSAA State Baseball Tournament, and we do so with a final score in Division 4 of Perkins 5 and Fenwick 1. Marty, tune back into the NFHS Network and OHSAA Radio Network the first weekend of December. Going to be a little chillier than it is today.
Probably.
As we'll have the 7 state football championships from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. As always, you can check out the OHSAA Radio Network page at OHSAA.org for more. On behalf of OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute, Radio Network Executive Producer Tim Streed, and our on-site producer Ryan Baker. My partners today, Marty Bannister and Todd Walker. This is Todd Bell congratulating the Perkins Pirates. They are the 2026 Division IV State Baseball Champions. The preceding broadcast has been a presentation of the NFHS Network and OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.